Alrighty guys, what is going on? It's Austin here, and today we have another COD Zombies ranking video, and today we are ranking all the Pack-a-Punch camos on Black Ops 3 Zombies. Before I get into it, I just want to do a quick explanation of the rules for this. We're not including the Zombie Chronicles maps, we are only ranking the maps that came during the DLC season for Black Ops 3, which would be Shadows, The Giant, Horizon, Zetsubou, Revelations, and Gorod Krovi. Also, for the maps that feature more than one camo, just to save time, we're ranking the map as a whole, taking all the camos into account. We're not ranking each individual camo. Without further ado, let's get right into it with our last place spot. And to no surprise at all, we have Zetsubou no Shima. Now this map is so annoying to set up Pack-a-Punch. This is the only gameplay I decided to actually use a Gobblegum to get it. I got wall power and just bought the Shiva off the wall, just so I can get it over with. And this camo, when I tell you, I have no idea what they were going for. Like, they had the vines and all that, and it was like kind of green and yellow for like the Zetsubou atmosphere, but it just looks horrible. They just did it so poorly, and I feel like they could have done a much better job. Also, this is one of the only maps in Black Ops 3 where you don't have multiple camos for different Pack-a-Punches. You Pack-a-Punch a gun once, you're going to have the same piss yellow camo for the whole game. And obviously that's not a big deal. That's how all maps did it up until Black Ops 3 kind of started doing it. But right when you start it with Horizon Drac with 4 or 5 different camos, and they're, eye-catching colorful camos, and then the next map you're going to release an ugly camo, but not even various camos, just have one camo and have it be ugly. Zetsubou's Pack-a-Punch camo kind of felt like a step back from what they were doing with Horizon Drac. Now Zetsubou no Shima, I'd say, is the only bad Pack-a-Punch camo on Black Ops 3. Our next spot, even the next two spots, are a little just less detailed. They're not ugly camos, they're just not as colorful and eye-catching as the other ones on our list. We have the Giant. Now I personally really like this camo. I use the ICR to kind of compare it to another Pack-a-Punch camo gameplay we have, so you can kind of see the difference. But I also use the XM53 because I feel like the Giant's Pack-a-Punch camo is very detailed, and on most weapons it's hard to see all the detail. So I went with the XM53 so we can get the most of that camo we can, and I kind of let it sit in the Pack-a-Punch for a little bit just so we could get a glance of it. And I feel like the camo overall is very good looking. It's not helped out very much from how dark the Giant is. It's really hard to see the camo. In the gameplay, I actually walk around trying to find nice spots, but when I'm sitting in the Pack-a-Punch with the ICR, it kind of just looks like scribbles. You can't really see any detail. But for the weapons that this camo shows a good amount of detail on, and when you're in that good light, I feel like it is a really nice looking Pack-a-Punch camo, and it definitely fits World at War, but I wouldn't expect it to be on any other Black Ops 3 map. Now next up on our list, we have pretty much a copy of a camo from a map we already saw before, and it's the Ritual camo from Shadows of Evil. I am a huge Mob of the Dead fan and a huge Shadows of Evil fan, so it makes sense why I like this camo so much, and I love its detail. I love what it was going for. I feel like it's in bad taste because it kind of just copies the Mob of the Dead camo and just improves upon it slightly. I think this one looks amazing with the XM53 compared to the Giant Pack-a-Punch camo. But also, like with the Giant, in some areas it does just look like red lines. You can't really tell the detail. You can see a few Illuminati signs, but after that it kind of just looks like red scribbles. But with that being said, I really, really love the Shadows of Evil Pack-a-Punch camo. It's just like what I said with the Giant camo. It just can't stand up against the other camos we have coming up in our list. Now next up, we have the Gorod Krovi Pack-a-Punch camos. Now these are interesting. These are a lot like the Horizon Drac camos, but it's got a little bit more of like a map theme to it. It has the dragon scales on it, and I think that's a good design. But overall, the camos on this map are slightly different shades than on Horizon Drac, which for some camos it works, but some it doesn't. Like the green on Gorod compared to the green on Horizon Drac, I feel like Horizon Drac did it way better. I feel like the blue on both maps are exceptional, but I do like the blue Pack-a-Punch camo for Gorod more. But the red on Gorod doesn't look very good. I feel like the orange is probably the best one. The Gorod Krovi Pack-a-Punch camo for me kind of feels like Treyarch realized they messed up with the Zetsubou camo, and they kind of tried to undo what they did and make it pretty much Rise and Drak Camos 2.0, change the shading of it, and then add some dragon scales. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's a little unoriginal. Runner-up spot, we have the Rise and Drak Pack-a-Punch camos. I think there's 4 or 5 camos, and overall, all of them are pretty good looking. Even the yellow, I feel like the yellow is the weakest looking, but the yellow compared to Zetsubou's yellow, it's still much better. And then even with my ray gun gameplay, you could see that green compared to Gorod's green. It's a little darker, and I like that a lot more. And then just the brightness of the red Pack-a-Punch camo, I just think these are the best so far. It's just they didn't have as much detail as the next spot we have. Now you guys can narrow it down to the only map we have left, and I'm sure before you guys even clicked the video, you knew what was going to come in first. But we have Revelations. Now these pack camos are so cool looking. It's kind of a mashup, and we've got multiple colors for each camo. You know, there's not one plain camo. Even the worst looking one still has, you know, a few layers of design to it. And in my gameplay, I packed my Kuda and my Banshee a few times just to get a different look on different guns for all the camos because there's so many. And like I said, I just think Revelations has the highest quality camos and the most colorful and unique camos. Now with some guns on other maps, I feel like the camo looks better or worse than certain weapons. On Revelations, I think the camo looks good on pretty much every weapon. My only drawback from it would be that some of them are very flashy, and if you've played Revelations, you know what I mean. And it's already a super bright map in some areas, so it's not really what we need is more bright camos, but it definitely fits the overall aesthetic of the map as kind of a mashup of all these colors. My personal favorite camo, in case you guys are wondering, is the Into the Void camo. I really love that. It's the one with the lightning. It was released to multiplayer, and that thing on the Apothicon Servant and Thundergun, masterpiece. Now that was it. That was all the Pack-a-Punch camos on Black Ops 3 ranked from worst to best. Obviously this was just my opinion, but I feel like I represented a good amount of the community's views. If I didn't, make sure to go in the comments down below and tell me your list, or at least just tell me where it differs on what you prefer over what I said. Anyway, if you're enjoying these ranking videos, I have more coming out soon, especially since I just got my Elgato, and I'm going to be cranking out top 5s and ranking videos like crazy, because you guys have always loved that on my channel, and we are bringing it back. Anyway, have a wonderful day everybody, stay safe out there, peace out.